These kids will never attend school again. To say the least, Uvalde has been shaken to its core. Families are broken apart. Hearts are forever shattered. All Texans are grieving with the people of Uvalde, and people are rightfully angry about what has happened.
A day after the mass shooting in Uvalde, Governor Greg Abbott went to the rural Texas town to address the shooting. He offered condolences to the families and he praised the response from law enforcement. But there was a glaring omission: actual solutions to a problem that is plaguing his home state. There have been 8 mass shootings in Texas over the last 13 years. The 2017 church shooting in Sutherland Springs with 26 dead. The 2018 Santa Fe high school shooting with 10 dead. The 2019 El Paso Walmart shooting, 23 dead. And then within a few weeks later, the 2019 Midland Odessa shooting, leaving 8 dead, just to name a few. And while the state faces an ever-growing list of horrific mass shootings, lawmakers in Austin, including Governor Abbott, continue to loosen gun laws in Texas. In the last 15 years, there have been at least 25 gun-related bills signed into law in Texas. There was the Stand Your Ground law in 2007, allowing for the use of deadly force in protecting property. A 2013 law that allowed certain school employees to arm themselves. A 2016 law that allowed Texas gun owners the ability to openly carry firearms and allowed concealed carry on college campuses. And just last year, Governor Abbott signed a round of gun laws, including a permitless carry law, and one naming Texas a, quote, Second Amendment sanctuary state, shielding it from federal gun reforms. Despite the ceaseless efforts by Greg Abbott and Texas Republicans to make owning and carrying guns easier, there are Texans that are fighting back. Joe Moody is a state representative from El Paso. He scored a very rare win for gun control advocates in Texas last year. It came in the form of a lie and try law. It makes it a state crime to lie on a background check form in order to buy a gun. But at the very same time that got passed, his fellow lawmakers were approving the permitless carry law. And almost a year to the day that Uvalde gunman would kill 21, Moody was on the House floor making this impassioned and sadly prescient speech about gun violence in his home state.
I get it. There's nothing I can do. I can't stop this. I know the rules of the House very well. This is about to pass. But I couldn't stop tonight without sharing my disappointment. One day, the tragedy will come to your community. It's come to Dr. Bonin's community. It's come to Brooks Landgraf's community. It's come to John Kemple's community. It's come to many others' community. And it's going to come to yours too, because we fail to be responsible to the members of our communities across this state. I pray that it doesn't, but it is. I wish it wasn't, but it will.
Joining me now is Democratic Texas State Representative Joe Moody. Representative, as we just heard in that clip, you predicted that yet another tragic shooting event was going to happen and take place. I know you take no satisfaction whatsoever in being right, and that your frustrations in being right are surpassed by your grief and the loss of these victims' lives. Texas has had 8 mass shootings in the past 13 years. What is your message now to your fellow Texas lawmakers?
We cannot continue to come to Austin and offer the same solution that we do every single time, which is more guns. It is the only thing that I hear. We need more guns in the hands of teachers, resource officers, more guns is always the answer. Well, if more guns were the answer for the United States, we'd be the safest country in the world. We wouldn't have this problem because we have more guns than anyone else. So we need to get away from the idea that that is a solution to this problem. It is not. And if you come to the Capitol and that's your only solution, then you're not being serious about this, and then you don't care about those parents that are staring at the empty beds of their children in Uvalde. And I hope and I pray that people watch this footage. They watch these parents. They watch that grief, because it is something that I hope will awaken in them empathy and an understanding that we cannot treat guns like the golden calf. We have to love our children more than we love guns if we want solutions to these problems.
As I'm sure you've seen by now, Democratic gubernatorial nominee Beto O'Rourke, who is a fellow El Pasoan with you, attended Greg Abbott's press conference on Wednesday. Beto laid blame at the feet of Greg Abbott and Texas Republicans for Uvalde and the growing list of mass shootings in Texas. I'm going to play a little bit of sound from what Beto had to say outside that press conference and get your reaction on the other side.
Do you want a solution? Stop selling AR-15s in the state of Texas. You want a solution? Have universal background checks. We don't have them. You want a solution? Red flag laws or extreme risk protection orders, which stop a shooting before it happens. You want a solution? Safe storage laws. Those are 4 solutions that have been brought up by the people of Texas. Each one of those has broad bipartisan support right now. We could get that done if we had a governor who cared more about the people of Texas than he does his own political career or his fealty to the NRA. And if you need any proof of that, check the schedule for the NRA's convention this Friday right here in the state of Texas.
Representative, it's Texas. How realistic do you think his gun reform ideas are going to be for your state?
You know, I've sat at tables with Governor Abbott, with others that have different viewpoints than I have. And we have built a consensus around you know, we did one around lie and try, which was great, and that's a great success for us, but it's not enough. We know that was just a piece of the puzzle. What about straw purchases? Why not create a state offense for that? Why are we allowing children to purchase these weapons? And I've heard my colleagues say, well, that's been the law in Texas for years. Well, great. It doesn't mean we can't change it. We change the law every single time. So let's take a look at that. Let's be proactive about it. You know, red flag laws have seemingly hit a brick wall in Texas. But guess what? We have protective order laws right now that allow judges, they're doing it right now in Texas, judges to say someone involved in domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, stalking, we can dispossess them of their weapons right now under the law of Texas, but no one's enforcing it. Let's enforce those laws. Let's make sure that those dangerous people don't have access to those weapons. There are so many creative ways that we can address this issue. And I know we can bring people together on this. I have faith in that. I have hope in that. No matter how many times I've hit that wall, I know that my commitment to the people here in this community in El Paso, after what we went through, will never change. It'll be to go back there every time and take a seat at the table to fight for better policy so that we don't have to wake up to stories like this anymore. And I know it's frustrating, and I want change tomorrow. But we have to take every single step, every single opportunity to make these changes so that we can protect our communities. And I'm going to continue to do that because that's what's expected of me. It's what I promised those families here in El Paso. And I will live up to that promise every single day. And I will take that story with me to the Capitol every single day.
Those families in El Paso, as we discussed, you experienced that devastating mass shooting in your own community in 2019 at that El Paso Walmart. What would you say to the people in the community at Uvalde right now about trying to overcome such a tragedy? Because you've walked in those shoes.
You know, it's hard. The images, even looking at them now, I can't. It's hard. You know, I sent my kids to school 3 days after that shooting and was terrified. And just the other day took those same kids to school, feeling that same terror again because of what happened in Uvalde. My message to the people of Uvalde is to hold each other, come together with one another, because the only thing that's going to help is feeling that community, feeling that power, feeling that love. There is frustration, there'll be anger, and all that is natural, but hold each other tight and love each other, lift each other up, and then let's move on. Let's move forward together and make things better for the community. So hopefully the words that I spoke over a year ago, right about a year ago, don't continue to ring true. I don't want them to be true. I want us to solve this and be responsible for our community. But you know, I pray for peace for those families. because that's all I can do. Is I hope that they're able to find peace in a very, very troubling time in their life, and I hope that they're able to love and lift one another up. We're going to be there for them. There were strangers that loved us and lifted us up about 3 years ago, and we're going to do that for the community in Uvalde too.
Texas State Representative Joe Moody, I thank you for keeping the faith and for having the optimism and the hope that you can be the change that we need. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.